The South Jersey Donald Trump
The division in America is clear right on Donald Trump's doorstep. A protest surrounded painting an uneasy
day trip
portrait.
to Maine.
He's struggling.
One of the men in the video.
All right. First of all, what's up, y'all? This Chef 24/7, and right now I'm behind the camera because I'm stepping to the side and I'm about to let, two individuals who I look at as, not just my family and my blood, but also, just people who I care about genuinely. We, all black males, and there's a lot of stuff been going on, and there's a lot of protests and a lot of things that's just we trying to find some answers and trying to find some solutions. So the goal for this today is really just to talk and discuss some options. What can we do? You know what I'm saying? For our future. Not just for the future of us as the people who we are, but the people that's coming after us. So I'm going to introduce my two people that's sitting here on the sofa chilling. First of all, my boy KD through the windshield. You know what I'm saying? On the road, truck, he got stories from all over. He done seen all different things all over the world. You know what I'm saying? And over here, I got my fellow homeboy, comedian D. Mitch. You know what I'm saying? Even though right now, we really can't find that much humor when we hurting, but we gonna keep it real. So I'm about to stop talking. I'm gonna just throw some questions at them, and I'm gonna throw the floor over to them. So bring them over there. I'm gonna edit that just so I can hear y'all. All right. So let's discuss the situation right now at hand. First of all, I'm gonna let you, KD, explain the whole situation of what's going on with George Floyd and how it not just affects. Why is it so important, and why it affects all of us?
Well, it affects all of us. Well, first I'm gonna say this. It's so important because it's something that constantly happening in this country. It's something that law enforcement, I ain't gonna say everybody as a whole, but law enforcement has had a serious problem with respecting people, respecting, the rights of the citizens. Not just black people, but just respecting the rights of the citizens. You see a lot of times if you watch cops, if you watch live PD and stuff, just an example, you could say West Baton Rouge. They usually acting real bad and getting out the way and acting real ignorant with people. They always saying stuff and just handling you like you don't have human rights. Just because you law enforcement don't make you any better than me. You got a badge. You might work for the force, but you're not no different than me. You don't have any more rights than me. You don't have any more authority than me. You just another person that has a different job than me. You fill out an application to be qualified for that job. You meet the qualifications, you get hired. But at the end of the day, that is a job. That's not like a way of life. That's not like you were born into that job. Even if you went to the military, you got to pass the classifications and the training and basic training to be able to be a part of the military. It's the same thing with being an officer of the law, whether you be FBI, whether you be a sheriff, whether you be a police officer, whatever, the U.S. Marshals. It's the same way, but having the basic person on the street, as you watch these different shows, you see how they're being treated. That's an example right there. And they'll say all kind of stuff. Oh, well, he had a weapon. Oh, he had this, but you didn't show that on the camera. We don't see any proof of that. And then you see in these different cases, even like here with George Floyd, you see he didn't have a weapon. Okay, yeah, they pulled him out of his vehicle. They put him in handcuffs. He didn't fight him. He didn't cuss him out. He didn't spit on him or anything like that. But the outcome was he got put on the ground. He got a knee on his neck, and he expired after him begging them, "I can't breathe," which is the same thing we heard in New York. And they got off. They didn't get no charges, and everybody celebrated. You got all the ignorant people running around here starting GoFundMe for the officers. The officers didn't lose their lives. The officers are the ones that's taking care of more than the average person. I don't know if you know, but most law enforcement, if they die in the line of duty, their family get $250,000. That's just the basics of what they get besides all the other benefits. But they'll start a GoFundMe. These people start a GoFundMe for somebody that then killed somebody in the line of duty to fight their defense. These people will give them $1 million. So you basically just paid this person $1 million so that they took an innocent person's life. And I feel like that's wrong. That's wrong all the way around. I don't really want to hold the floor, but that's wrong. If you want to give your opinion on this, I'll let you jump in here.
I want you to discuss the situation as well.
I'm over here. I'm listening because like it's hard for me to speak about it because I'm hurt because like you said, like I said, this ain't the first time you hear I Can't Breathe. Eric Garner, you know what I'm saying? You just referenced him, you know what I'm saying? And for me, I feel like it's about time for black people to start caring about each other a little bit more. To the point to where when we see each other in the street, we speak like we used to, like we was taught. You pass by somebody, you speak to them. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta find a common ground where we got a genuine love for each other's lives. Cause without that, this gonna keep happening. Cause ain't nobody willing to go all out and, hey, that's my brother. You gonna respect that? Like I'm not saying we gotta go out there and fight, cause it's different ways of fighting. We have black lawyers. Get somebody who will go against their first obligation being to the courts and actually defend this man that lost his life. And get them in there. Like some modern day Johnny Cochrans, you know what I'm saying? This is what we need, like, and I'm just hurt, man. I can't, it's hard to speak on, you know what I'm saying? Knowing that he comes from my heritage of Houston, you know, used to mess around with SUC, you know, that's Big Floyd. I didn't know. You know, but like how they trying to drag him. Like I'm in his Facebook group. This is part of the reason why I forget our Facebook. Where they was dragging his name, telling him, you know, he used to do porn. You know, XYZ. He just got out of jail and all. You know what I'm saying? They really trying to drag his name, and I say that is the wrong thing to do at this time. It's like I'm really hurt at it all. It's so much I done seen.
And it's sad to do that. You die at the hands of somebody. Regardless of what your track record is, what your past is, what did you do at that time is all that matters. What did you do at that time? The man didn't get out the car and start shooting at the police. The man didn't barely even offer any resistance.
So,
but one thing about it, you look at it this way. Every time that one of us died, we got our whole life back to kindergarten got to be on trial. What does that have to do with what happened in that situation?
True.
The division in America is clear right on Donald Trump's doorstep. More demonstrations, a protest surrounded painting an uneasy day trip to Maine.
Tonight, one of the men in the video.
A lot of stuff y'all already discussed. We're gonna go back to in more detail. Because y'all kind of covered a lot of stuff that we're gonna discuss anyway. But I really want to go dissect this more. But I want to talk about personally. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we've seen this over and over again. We seen this a few weeks ago. A young man was running, policeman shot him, and it was like, I guess it's gonna be a closed casket, homie. You feel what I'm saying? And laugh, And this was just a few weeks ago, So this is going on, and right now, you gotta feel some kind of way personally, outside of everything that's going on. As a person, just for a few seconds, how does it affect you?
It affect me because me being out on the highway, you can get pulled over by law enforcement at will. You can get pulled over at will. And it's not so much that they looking for somebody in particular. Just because I'm a commercial driver, they got the right to stop me whenever they feel like stopping me.
Right.
If I have a light bulb that's flickering on my trailer and I don't know about it, they got the right to stop me. Not to say that it's gonna go crazy, but what if it does? I'm away from my home. There's nobody around where I live, where I'm at. I don't know what the outcome could be. I worry about it for my kids. Because now we've seen videos how these children getting beat up and handled and slammed and dropped at these schools due to no fault of their own. I worry about my kids. I worry about my child going out my door because an officer could kill my child, just like everything with Tamir Rice and these other little children getting killed and it was no fault of their own. I don't even hardly let my kids go out the door with the baseball bat to play baseball or even a BB gun to be trying to shoot at a cardboard box unless I'm out there with them, because I don't need them being mistaken for having a gun and getting killed. They killing even like with Sandra Bland. I don't want my wife to get killed minding her own business. And it does happen. Anybody that says it doesn't, you must be living under a rock. It's something you choose to believe that it's not going to happen. But that's the difference between being a person of color and not being a person of color. Because if you're not around people and that's been in these situations, most of the time you don't know about these situations. And we just only saying something to let you know that, yeah, if you see it, you need to speak up. When we out here rallying and marching, we ain't doing this because we just think we trying to be agitators and all that. No, we want to bring attention to it because this is the stuff that the media doesn't want to report on.
We're going to get back to that because we're going to talk about the media too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, D. Mitch, how is this? You already mentioned that the guys, from Houston, but outside of everything that's going on, just these situations, hold on a second. These situations, you know what I'm saying? I know we talked about, George being from Houston, but these situations all together, how does it affect you outside of everything? Just how does it affect you?
Well, it affected me in a way, like, before I got into comedy, my first career ever in life was playing drums. So I'm a musician first. So it affected me because I still do, I'm still a musician, per se. So when I'm out in the clubs now, like certain clubs, it's like it's hard to come around because the tension is there. The tension is high. You can feel it when you walk in the room. Normally it go away after they hear me sit on the drums. Normally it goes, okay, let me buy you a beer or something. None of that. It's still kind of tension there, like high volume tension. So it's like I feel for my life like that because I don't stick to one genre of music. I love music, so I explore it. So just a musician like that, and then when I go back home from Houston, it's affected my family because they out there trying to make it. They got different, got rappers in the family. I don't just have rappers. I actually got workers. Got people that work in the plants. And these black men have to go to work. Got truck drivers. You know what I'm saying? They have to go to work. They got to do the job. And they can get pulled over anywhere, especially if you're driving not just over highway, state to state, crossing different state lines, being different. Like, I don't know where to go from here. Like, honestly, I mean, I got an idea, but yeah, it's so much I want to say. I just can't get it all out right now. It's. Can you go to the next question for me?
Yeah.
Cause it's.
So, this is rough topic to talk about. So we talked about solutions. So I want both of y'all to give me one solution that y'all think, out of all the solutions y'all could think about, that could possibly work. KD, we gonna go with you. What kind of solution you think we can find to get us out of these type of situations where we're no longer the targets of some kind of, you know, bad day for a police officer? You know what I'm saying?
Well, one thing, because most of these people that commit this stuff have been in trouble multiple times before. Some of them have even been fired from other forces. When they get fired from other forces, excessive force and everything, they should decertify them as a law enforcement.
Right.
They should decertify them and they have to go through so much training and so many courses to be able to recertify, to be able to work in law enforcement again. They shouldn't just get fired from one job and move to the next one, like moving from McDonald's to Burger King.
True, you make a good point. Think about the military police and the way the military handles dishonorary discharges and stuff like that. If the policeman was more governed like the military was, maybe you might get some correction, because you could get a lot of those faulty people out. Yeah.
It's so many other things we could do, but that one step will be a step in the right direction. It ain't gonna stop it, but it'll deter a lot of it.
Right.
Because you notice, if you pay attention, majority of these cops had a track record of bias, had a track record of handling people, violating people's rights and everything else. This ain't just their first time they ever been written up.
The division in America is clear right on Donald Trump's doorstep.
More
demonstrations,
protests
surrounded
painting
an uneasy day trip to Maine.
Tonight, one of the men in the video.
Alright, we talking about finding a solution. So for you, D. Mitch, what's one solution out of all these different solutions you feel that can work good?
Well, I can start off by saying the looting, rioting, and protesting. You know, that ain't been working. I'ma just be real, it hasn't. So I feel like it's time for us to control our money. Like people say we gotta. Listen, it's simple. They have black banks. You can bank online with a black bank. Like, we got all our money in these white banks. They giving all their people loans to get for their business endeavors, but none of our people get it. Give it to their brother man and watch him get that black man a try. Give him a line of credit so he can open up him a chain of gas stations. You know what I'm saying? Nail salons. You know what I'm saying? It's so much stuff that we could be doing for ourselves to where we don't need nobody. So I say it's economical. Like, we gotta control our dollar. We spend trillions a year on nothingness. On nothing. Just to keep up with the Jones, to say I have and I got, instead of investing into our children's future. That's what we falling apart at. We're not thinking about the generation behind us. Like Ken over here, like, he showed me a video earlier where he said, what was the line you said about the youth? It was something you said, and it caught me by surprise, cause
well, basically with the youth, we can't reach them all, but we need to speak to the ones that we can reach, and we speak to the ones that we can reach. They can reach the ones that we can't reach, and when we talking to them, we need to talk to them and not at them. because nobody wants to be talked at. You talking at me, I ain't gonna pay no attention to what you saying. But if you talking to me and you listening to what I'm saying as well as I'm listening to what you saying, I'll be more willing to accept what you telling me.
So we don't discuss solutions. We don't discuss this problem. How we dealing with it personally, and ultimately, I end up scratching my head and asking myself this question, and I'm gonna ask y'all this question too, and honestly as you can. Do you think any other solutions that we have can work for us? Can we really do this? If we find any of these solutions that could possibly lead to us having a peaceful, less targeted life, do you think this is a real possibility?
I believe it's a possibility, but it's gonna take more than our black people. It's gonna have to take the Caucasians getting involved in it too. Because the thing of it is, we can say whatever we want to say. We can act however we want to act, because you can even see when we acted better in the 60s, when we acted better in the 50s, we still was getting our asses whooped. The only difference in the change that took effect, even with Martin Luther King, when they were marching, the changes took effect when the Caucasians got involved in it. When they start understanding what we were saying wasn't just talking, that this was actually what was happening, and we was getting our asses whooped and we was being peaceful. The few changes that came effect is because they opened their mouths and said that they weren't going to allow that to happen. Them being on our side helped us. Now, if they not going to be on our side, that makes it that much harder. Not that it's impossible, but it's going to take them for it to happen.
Mitch, it's a tough question, ain't it?
It is.
But in your personal opinion, what you think?
Well, first off, it all starts with change. Change is really, like, I hate to go religious, but it be certain things that tell you it's true. Like, it say, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, right? So with that saying, in order for you to see change, you got to change within yourself. So if you really want to make it right, love the black man enough to value his life. That's the change that you need to. And get what I'm saying? Like it's time for more of us to stop sleeping during the day and coming out at night. Time to go out during the day. And this is survival methods. This, like, we don't have time to sleep. Like, survival method. You got to be that change, because you got brothers out here doing legal, like, work like that. They doing work that can't be done at night. Put it like that. And they out there by themselves. Like most of the black guys that I go around, that I'm more of the mentality of, hey bro, you gotta defend yourself. You can't let that happen to you. Like, I'm more of that to them. And so pretty much they can't defend themselves right now. That was gonna be the first ones that they take from us. Like, so it's like, y'all gotta get out there and show them that, like, let that man work. He just out here trying to work. He ain't trying to do nothing. He ain't bothering nobody. Let him work.
What do you think is a possibility through work? Is what you're saying?
Nah, it's gonna take more than work. I'm saying the change. The change is the value of your life, to let a man work. So you just gotta, like, keep that change in there. Like, you gotta change your mind first. Like, I love you, black man, so ain't nothing gonna happen to you. I got you. We here together. I got you.
Yeah, unity.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? That change.
Yeah, because that, you know, we see one of us in need, and we want help. It's just like you see all these videos online of these black women getting attacked. Where you got black men standing around and they filming and everything. I could never see my neighbor, or even a woman I don't know, getting attacked, and I won't do nothing. It don't really matter her color. It's just the fact I'm not gonna see no woman get jumped on, and I'm not gonna say nothing. Like, who does that? I don't know, you know, I know we live in this society where everybody feel like, oh, well, your problems ain't my problems, so I ain't worried about it. But really, so if your mother is walking down the street and somebody beat the crap out of her and nobody don't do nothing but film it, oh, it's good, okay? That's the message that you telling them. I don't have to know you to defend you if I see you being done wrong.
Say that part again.
I don't have to know you to defend you if I see you being done wrong.
That's love.
It's like people losing the love in their heart. Everybody got a hard heart these days. I don't understand everything, but I just can't allow you to sit there and brutalize somebody. Even if I see somebody messing over a homeless person, what you messing over them for? They ain't bothering you.
So check this out. All right. Like I said, 2 questions. This question here, y'all can speak on it. Last question, I know y'all gonna go full ass, so don't feel restricted on the last one. Okay, so the policeman. Honestly, are the policemen really the bad guys in this situation?
In this situation?
As a whole.
I believe yes, and I'm gonna tell you why I believe that. I believe they are the bad guys because the ones that do their job, go home to their family, don't harass people and everything, but they know this shitbag that they work with is running around harassing people, treating people any kind of way. And just like the man on the video, you just stand there and let him do it. You don't say nothing, like you don't even know what's going on. How can you do that? You just as guilty if you not gonna say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every situation don't require you to fight, but every situation requires you to use your mouth. If you know something wrong, say something wrong. We've been seeing in all these protests, all officers telling other officers who getting out of character and acting all foolish with these people. You don't do that. They didn't have to put their hands on them, but they tell them you don't do that. They intervene. They step in between anything. But you don't say nothing. You don't say nothing at all.
The division in America is clear right on Donald Trump's doorstep. More protests surrounded President Trump's uneasy day trip to Maine.
Tonight, one of the men in the video.
They didn't have to put their hands on them, but they tell them you don't do that. They intervene. They step in between anything. But you don't say nothing. You don't say nothing at all.
Right, because he could have just been arrested and his life could have been spared. I mean,
Yeah.
he'd have just been in handcuffs, but
Well, all they had to do,
he
my
won't
thing is
survive.
this, why they didn't just put him in the car? All that y'all did out there, you could have just put him in the car.
right.
Even if you had to let him go later, you just could have put him in the car. Most officers, when they arrest you, what they do? They put you in the car, right?
Right.
Even if they don't put you in the car, what they do? They set you on the curb,
Yeah.
make you lean up on the hood. The average police stop don't escalate to you putting your knee on somebody's neck, especially when they non-combative.
True.
So why is this? This is something he chose to do. And there's so many examples of this going on. This why people frustrated. This why people mad. This why people acting a fool. Then you got the agitators coming in and starting riots out of a peaceful protest.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have had to be a protest if you could just get some justice. It wouldn't have had to be a protest if you could have just get some equal treating. You treat me equal, then we don't have no problem. I don't need no special treatment. I need equal treatment. Cause ain't nobody running in no Caucasian's house and shooting people to death and going on about their business and you didn't even have a warrant or the right house. That's only happening to us. That's the stuff that need to stop. So until y'all speaking up, until y'all stopping this year, all of y'all are the problem.
It's the problem, the policeman. It's the problem, literally, the police, or as a whole.
Okay, yeah, it's them. it's them as a whole, and not all of them, because you know I know black police officers, good black police officers that steps in if they're around. Hey, nah, don't do all that. Don't hit them. I know them.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not them as a whole, but it's the
policies.
But
you know, like you know, like that we not trying to say right now. Everybody really just know. We know. It's them. Them racist assholes. Fuck it. I'll say it. It's them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they got a lot of them in there. You know what I'm saying? Some people call them race soldiers. Like, for real. But they have a lot of them in there.
Mm-hmm. They got a lot of Klansmen that signed up to be police officers and different law enforcement.
And that is why this is happening.
But it all goes back to what they were originally created for, as slave catchers.
Right. Slave patrol.
Yeah. So that's what they feel. That's what they feel they doing today. That's why they feel they have no value in our lives, because they still had that mentality of the slave catcher.
kind of wrapping it up for you guys. The last thing I want to kind of elaborate on, let's talk about the protesting and protesting as just an action. So the floor open to both of y'all. So express away.
I'm gonna say this. With the protesting, the idea of protesting is good because you want your voice heard. Now, because we live in America, they don't give a shit about nothing we saying. Even when Kaepernick did the kneel as a protest, he's a bastard. He don't care about the company, the country. Fuck him. He's disrespecting the flag and the soldiers. You idiots. This was the best protest that he could have done without being violent, which was to take a knee. He was being silent. But because he doesn't fit into the narrative of what you want it to be, like that idiot Tory Lauren who does all that criticizing everything. I've never seen anybody who got their head so far up their ass but continue to speak, other than the current president. But the protest, back to the subject though, the protest is a way to express yourself. Now, you see it all the time. You see the people come out with the guns and they'll protest and everything else, and which is cool. That's their right to protest. That's what protesting is for. The problem that we have is we always have our protest sabotaged by outsiders who come out there. They want to start a riot. They want to fight. They want to throw rocks and all kind of foolishness. Now you got young people who trying to express their views, who mad because they being disrespected on a daily basis. So you just threw gas on the fire. Protesting is a good idea, but the problem is when you got outside people that interact in our protests but don't interact in nobody else's. You want to look at us and disrespect us. We've been marching and protesting for over 50 years.
Oh.
Since Martin Luther King and even before that. But look at how much they haven't paid us any attention. Generation after generation after generation. Nobody gives a shit. So how I feel about protesting, I feel like it's a good idea, but at the same time, how much is it really changing? Now that it's gotten violent, it's changing a few things. It got everybody attention. I don't condone violence, but I understand. I understand the whole situation. Only because nobody wants to keep repeating themselves and keep talking and don't get no action. If my neighbor come out to my house and disrespect me every day and I tell him, Tom, you need to go back home. Tom, you need to go back home. Eventually I'm gonna whoop Tom ass because Tom won't get out of my damn yard. So if I'm gonna whoop Tom ass and he on the low level, how am I gonna feel if I'm trying to stop y'all from killing my people? How you think I'm gonna feel about that? Let you take this one from here.
I mean, for me, the protesting, I'm for it, but I'm feeling like things are happening too soon. Like when you talk about the watch riot, they had protesters, you know what I'm saying, but they didn't do the riot until after the cop was found innocent. That's when the riot came, and that's why I'm saying like the looting and stuff that's going on now. It's like y'all moving too soon. It's like y'all like the people are reacting, and it's not time to react. It's time to think this thing through.
Yeah,
we got to get somewhere. It's time like you said earlier.
That's
we got to get
outside agitators coming and getting involved in it.
Right.
Because the outside agitators, the people are trying to be peaceful. It was peaceful till the agitators come out there and interacted. Because you've even seen videos, they had a pallet of bricks in front of the courthouse. Ain't no work going on at the courthouse. But y'all got this out there to try to get in the idea to throw this at the officers and everybody else. But the outside agitators are the ones that's making all them look bad because what they trying to do. They trying to be peaceful, right?
It's something that they did right, that they lived to be our grandparents. The way y'all moving, they gonna wipe us out. Like y'all, man, let's go. We ready for war. We ready for war because you got a few little guns, but understand they got military grade weapons that's not legal on the street. They got bombs. Whatever they want to do to us, they can do from a distance. They got drones now.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got
don't
drones.
even have to be present.
Robots that'll come out and do it. They don't have to be present at all. Like if you're gonna protest, do it peacefully. Make sure you bring awareness. Now I'm on my Malcolm X as well. If they do swing at you, do swing back. I am on that. I don't care how nobody feel by any means necessary. You will not disrespect me.
South Jersey, Donald Trump.
The division in America is clear right on Donald Trump's doorstep.
More
A protest surrounded painting an uneasy day trip to Maine.
Tonight, one of the men in the video.
I'm one of the victims of the justice system. It did not help me. It did not save me. It failed me. As a matter of fact, it scared the 18-year-old me. I've had my head bashed in on the hood of a car by policemen. I've had policemen threaten me to, if I didn't make it home within 3 minutes, they were going to either arrest me or shoot me when I was just walking my little cousin's home at nighttime. At the same time, I've also had police officers save me from possibly getting beat, or possibly even having drugs planted on me because I was riding in a car with somebody who was just taking me and my little cousin home. I've had police officers pull me to the side instead of arresting me, took me to a park, bought me dinner, sat down and talked with me about my decisions I was making in my life. So I've seen both sides of this circle. I've seen the bad and I've seen the good. The problem with the world today is it's not necessarily the police officers. It's not the people with the badge on. It's the people behind the badge. It's the responsibility of every individual. Us as black people, we need to stand together too, but we can't stand together if you treat your fellow black person like they ain't nothing, or if you treat your fellow minority like they're not nothing. That person on the street that may be drugged out, drugged up or whatever, that person needs the same love, because with that respect comes unity. And in order for to get respect from the outside world, and especially the people wearing a badge, you got to show respect as a unit. Because the thing is, nobody's going to piss off nobody that's group tight. I'm from the country. I'm old school. You ain't going to fuck with a certain set of cousins. There's always a set of cousins you don't fuck with because they're united. And you know what those cousins get? They get respect. They don't cause no trouble, and no trouble come to them. So black people, we need to be those cousins. No trouble come to us, no trouble come to them. At the same time, being violent, protesting and all that, that ain't gonna help nothing. That's all it's gonna do is engage more rage, more chaos. And it can't be peace. There can't be peace for your soul as an individual human being, and it can't be peace in your soul as a black person if you keep on with violence, if you keep on with chaos. Defend yourself. Yes, defend yourself. But don't get it twisted. Because any reason they can have to extinguish your life, it can be taken. And like I say, not every policeman is bad. But you got to also think about it is a small percentage of those people. A very small percentage. So if you're a police officer and you listening to this too, it's time to change. You can't protect the people if you bring fear to them. You only create a coup. And that's something that you don't want. That's not good for nobody because nobody wins. It ends up with loss and it ends up with death. And that's not nothing that nobody wants to have. If you want to be this flourishing America that y'all want to be, the only way we could be that is coming with respect. You have to respect where we come from. At the same time, give us our space. Let us grow. Not all of us are criminals. Sometimes we carry guns because we fear you're the person that's going to shoot us. We get ignorant, we get out of control, just put them in handcuffs. Take them to jail. I'd rather you take them to jail, put them through the justice system, and fuck them up like that than killing them. And that coming from me. A regular human being, like I said, has been on both sides. I've been locked up in a jail, and I'm watching the hold the tank. Police officers hold a man down and beat him. All because he just tilted. At the same time, if you're a police officer and you know what happened, and I know y'all have y'all code, speak up. It won't be change if y'all don't speak up. It won't be peace among the people if y'all don't speak up. I have family that are officers. I have friends that are criminals. I have people that are both. It won't be no respect for nobody if respect isn't starting to get showed and understanding is starting to get showed. All this violent shit, yeah, y'all got problems, y'all got beef, man. It's time to sit the hell down. It's time for communities to sit down and really discuss. We need real solutions. And it won't become a reality if both sides of this here field don't come to no agreement. If you don't like us, that's understandable. I don't care. You don't have to do nothing to us if you don't like us. If you don't like us, you don't have to have a job that causes you to interact with us, to enforce your law upon us. If you feel that bad about us as a people or the color of my skin, just don't bother me, and I won't bother you, I promise you. If you look in history, there's black people that have done things, and there's black people that's most of the time maintain peace. We was in a whole nother country. Y'all came and got us. And we're the descendants of those us. We're here. We're part of this great American culture that y'all have. We're the dark stain on y'all culture because of the abuse that we've been through. We don't want to shoot up people. We don't want to kill nobody at all. We just want to be left alone. That's it. And if you can't respect that, then y'all are creating this problem for yourselves. And sadly, it may not even become a solution for no one. And that's what I feel. I feel for the black lives that are on side of me, and I feel for the lives of any other person of any other color. Because some people get executed just to make an excuse to say, hey, there wasn't a black dude this time. Seriously. It's a white guy. Look him up. Recently. Got gunned down by the police for no reason either. And I know we said, yeah, that's a white guy and we're a black guy. Right? But they did that as an excuse to say, hey, we don't kill all blacks. So that was another innocent life gone. It affects every single human being on this earth, and it won't be no change until people start respecting one another. It won't be no change until we stop Slap the handcuffs, put the fucking gun down. I'd rather that shit any other day of the week. Give them their chance to fight, to prove. I don't give a fuck if they are guilty and you know they're guilty. Give them a chance to prove it. Just prove it to them. Don't just shoot them. Get your evidence together. Do the job that you want, that you asked and wanted and worked hard and earned to do. Not every criminal is going to kill. Not every criminal is quick to shoot. But if you create an atmosphere of fear, you will continue to get an atmosphere of chaos. And like I said, nothing won't change. That's all I got on it. I pray that we start from the individual, because it's going to take breadcrumbs to get this whole piece of bread baking. So we got to start with breadcrumbs. That's it.